My voice may have been shot, but politics doesn't stop. It's time for the May Moan. Hello, welcome to the May Moan. I'm Terry A. Abbott, and we've got a lot to actually talk about, so let's get right on with it. First thing, the Coronation. All that money spent to put a crown on a guy's head. Big fancy ceremony. Took him a bit of getting that on his head, didn't it? Yeah, oh, was that a bit of a squeeze? Yep, so we are talking about the coronation of King Charles III and Queen Camilla. I know people don't like to say about it, but hey ho, it is Charles and Camilla, so put up with it. So yeah, we spent over £100 million just to stick a crown on his head. Expensive, expensive, expensive. And at a time of a cost of living crisis where people are basically struggling to damn well buy food because food inflation is nearly 20%, this absolute view of unbelievable wealth on display, all this gold and pageantry, which we didn't really need, could have been a much less low-key service because of the fact that how much, you know, everything costs at the moment. But no, they wanted the big ceremony, and we got one. So, yes, 100 million. Bit expensive, as far as I'm concerned. Bit too expensive. But, I say, old Sausage Fingers is now king, and he's nowhere near as popular as his mother. But time will basically tell. We're noticing more and more countries becoming independent and getting rid of the monarchy. Could happen in this country eventually, I don't know. Maybe you have people who say, it's not my king. Well, maybe eventually he might not be a king. Wouldn't that be a shame? I have to pay a lot of council tax. And God, the bedroom tax on the amount of bedrooms you've got there, Charlie boy. Cool. That'd be a bit costly. The other big thing about May was the local elections. Now, this is Rishi Sunak's first major test of the ballot box. The Tories already went into this saying, ooh, we could lose 1,000 seats. This, of course, is expectation management. You say, oh, we're going to lose 1,000 seats. And you usually lose about 700 or 800 and then say, well, see, Rishi did quite well. We said we'd be 1,000 and we didn't lose as many as we said we would because, yay, Rishi's great. It didn't really work that way, did it? Well, I mean, what the hell happened? They did lose over 1,000 seats. Labour said they would win probably about 400. They got 537. The Liberal Democrats, 407 seats. Absolutely stonking good performance of them. As well as the Greens. Now, this is, of course, local elections. And there are more chance of you being able to elect a Green or a Liberal Democrat as a councillor. Because the margins are quite low. I was quite happy around here because South Ribble, which had been in no overall control, went firmly to Labour. Yay. Last time it was in full Labour control was 1995. Now, if that's an interesting number to you, remember in 1997, Labour ran to a 179-seat majority in the general election. So, Rishi it's not looking too good for you. Another thing is that I said something in a moan prior to this one. I'm going to have to turn my volume on because I can't hear it.
Power on.
So, yeah. Now, round here, we've got the elections. It's great. I am eager to see how my ward fares. Now, this is a Conservative ward. It's the sort of area where you could put a donkey there with a blue rosette, it would usually win. Things are different at the moment. Labour's polling quite well. They've had some good responses on the doorsteps. It will be interesting to see how it goes. See how close Labour gets. If they were to beat the Conservatives around here, then all bets are off, and I think the Tories would be in for an absolute shocker. Everywhere. And it would bode well for the general election. Now, when I said that, it was literally hope. As I was saying, this area has been for years staunch Conservative. I mean, it's pretty, pretty Conservative area. I wasn't expecting this. This, by the way, is the actual declaration for this ward.
I, Chris Sinnott, being returning officer in the election held on Thursday, 4th of May 2023, do hereby give notice that the number of votes cast for each candidate in the election is as follows. Ashton Andrew Phillip, Conservative Party candidate, 612. McHugh Stephen Phillip, Liberal Democrat, 159. Pillinger Pete, Labour Party, 680. Labour Party, 620.
Two councillors to get.
Conservative Party candidate, 555.
Yeah.
And Peter Pillinger and Wes Roberts have been duly elected.
Wes and Pete put up a damn good campaign. They deserved their victory. And yeah, Labour won this ward! This ward! Which has been Conservative for as long as I can remember. They won it. Even in its previous name of this ward, which was St Mary's, it was still a Tory ward. I mean, I think one time we had 3 councillors, and I think there was 1 Liberal Democrat at one point. But it was pretty much Tory. There was no Labour, had no bloody chance here at all. And wow, we won. We won the ward. I think Rishi's in trouble. The Tories are trying to make out it wasn't that bad. And, of course, the media are going on saying, oh, well, it means that Labour won't get a majority in the next election because of these vote shares. Oh, go to way. Yeah, you cannot correlate a local election vote share with a general election because people vote differently. You vote differently in a local election because you have a chance of getting your Liberal Democrat in, because you've got a chance to get your Green councillor. You vote for them. In a general election, you don't. You look at it and say, the Green guy hasn't got a bat in hell's chance if there's one standing. And if you are definitely going for the anti-Tory vote, you vote against the Tory with the person who can beat the Tory. And if, as was noticed in this election, there's quite a bit of tactical voting, but if this tactical voting takes place in the general election next year, the Tories could be in for an absolute thrashing. Be interesting to see what happens. But I was very happy to see Pete and Wes actually win this ward. Those guys worked hard for it. Congratulations, guys. Brilliant. It's an interesting situation. Meanwhile, Suella Braverman. Yeah. This woman is a walking disaster for the Conservative Party. She absolutely and thoroughly wants to be leader. She actually appeared at the National Conservatism Conference. Now, a couple of years ago, another MP went to that conference and got the whip taken off him. Got battered for it. But, yeah, she went there and it was like nobody gave her batting hells. I mean, there was two conferences. I mean, there was the Democratic Conservative guys. This is the Boris Johnson fan club. You know, Mad Nads and all that lot there. And then there was the National Conservatism conference, which is basically the right-wing nutfucks conference. And there's a lot of shady American fucking right-wing money put into this sort of crap. You can understand where these guys are going. We do not want to go anywhere near this. And this woman was there, and she's a horrible piece of work. I mean, maybe she will become leader of the Conservative Party, but if she does become leader of the Conservative Party, I think the Conservative Party can kick their ass goodbye, because no one's going to vote for that horrible piece of work. She is absolutely horrible. She's a horrible woman. Horrible woman. Horrible person. Ugh. Terrible. And, yeah, she continuously has controversy around her, including about speeding fine. Turns out a lot of Tories have speeding fines, by the way, and in fact, a lot of Labours have speeding fines. Everybody has speeding fines. Speeding fines aren't a problem. It's what you do about them. So she got a speeding fine. She got, told, yeah, you were speeding. Okay, you can go on this awareness course, speed awareness course. You do this to avoid paying the speeding fine. She didn't. She took the points on the license and took the fine because she didn't want to be with the plebs, because she wanted to do it privately, and she couldn't. Now, the problem is she got civil servants to look into it and not a lawyer. She should have got her own legal representation and looked into it, rather than getting a civil servant to do it. Can you go and do it? Civil servant, the guy who we're paying for, well, why should he do it? He's not going to do it you. It's nothing to do with the civil service. It's a private matter. Get your own bloody people to do it. Expect the bloody taxpayer to pay for it. Bloody terrible. Is there a breach of the ministerial code? Yeah. Not a serious one. But this woman continuously breaches codes. I mean, she got sacked by Liz Truss. How fucking useless must you be to be sacked by Liz Truss? She's very, very lax on a lot of things, and it's surprising why Rishi Sunak brought her back. Because she's right-wing and he's a weak leader. He's weak. He's very weak. And another guy. Yeah, this is Boris Johnson, and he won't go away, will he? He lingers like a bad smell. Partygate. Even more allegations. I like how the Tory media are trying to go, well, people are bored of this. Well, no. We want to know what this fucker's been up to. How many bloody more fucking breaches has he had? You see, he is basically taking the piss. He has a legal team paid for by the taxpayer. This is a man who is making millions already on the speech circuit in America. Guy's loaded. Why are we paying his fucking legal fees, fuck's sake? If you were wealthy and you had a court case, you wouldn't get legal aid. You wouldn't be able to. This fucker is. £250,000 worth of fucking legal aid. You know, that's great, isn't it? Just paid by the taxpayer. Don't know where we're getting it from. Magic money tree. Yep, as usual. So, he gives them his diaries. Now, the problem is that these lawyers aren't working for him. They're working for the Cabinet Office. And the Cabinet Office civil servants look through the diaries, of course, which have been handed to them. And there's a massive load of law breaking that's in there. You know, parties at checkers and stuff like that. Ooh, not good. They hand it over to the police, which they are duty bound to do, by the way. There's no, oh, it's the civil service, the blob, all this bullshit. No. They had to. They had no choice, or they're complicit in a criminal act. They're not going to suddenly become criminals just because fucking Boris Johnson's a dickhead. And, of course, now the police are looking into these extra breaches of lockdown. And, I mean, even his bloody sister has dropped him in the shit. Rachel Johnson, what an idiot she is. God almighty. Hey, I'll go and incriminate myself live on radio. Yay. So, yeah, he's got more fines probably on the way to him. More criminality from this buffoon. You can't make it up, can you? But it gets better. In the fit of the tantrums, he sacked his legal team, paid for by the taxpayer, the £250,000 ones, and has now gone and got his own lawyers. But he expects us, the taxpayer, to pay for these lawyers. Now, this is because of his thing in the Commons. You don't need legal representation for that. It's a committee. It's not a bloody criminal proceeding. Yet, he wants us to pay for these private lawyers now at £1 million. The guy is taking the fucking piss. Rishi, get rid of him. For fuck's sake. Just tell him to go fuck himself. Before you make yourself look like a complete and utter idiot. It is actually probably good to note that in a recent poll of who they would want to put in a dungeon, Boris Johnson came out top. Yay. Yeah, well, he could do with throwing the fucker in the dungeon. And that's it. That concludes the May Moan. Whew, it's been a month. A hell of a month. My throat feels like it's been put through the incinerator, and hopefully it'll be back to normal sometime in the near future. But to tell you the truth, it's been one of those months where I've been wanting to do a video about what's been going on and not been able to. No projection of power on the voice. It's causing problems. I don't know. My green screen seems to be playing up like hell at the moment. I'll have to go through the settings and find out what the hell's gone wrong with it. Not been used for a long time, and suddenly it's like going, nah, I'm not going to work properly for you. Great. If you like what we do, please like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll be back sometime with a new video. Until then, as always, stay safe and bye-bye.